What if clean tap water was a guaranteed death sentence? Your body is roughly 60% water, but in this twisted reality, every sip is a massive hit of the world's most potent narcotic. You drink, your brain swells, the room violently spins. How long could you survive when your own thirst betrays your mind? You just clocked out after a brutal 10-hour shift. Stressed about the mortgage and inflation eating your paycheck, you hit the gym to blow off steam. Pushing for a new bench press record, sweat pours off you. Your muscles scream for hydration. You grab an ice-cold bottle of pure spring water, and you take a massive, desperate gulp. The liquid hits your empty stomach. It absorbs instantly into your bloodstream. Your blood pressure spikes. Your pupils dilate. The fluorescent lights overhead begin to strobe. They smear into blinding streaks of white. The heavy bass of the gym speakers morphs into a distorted, terrifying drone. Gravity shifts. You stumble backward. You drop the plastic bottle. It bounces on the black rubber floor. You aren't hydrated. You're hopelessly water wasted. What if quenching your thirst guaranteed a lethal overdose? Stick around. We'll reveal exactly how this toxic water physically crushes your brain and collapses the global food supply. It then triggers a catastrophic blackout, leaving you to defend your home in the pitch black. Normally, water is the ultimate biological wingman, transporting testosterone to build muscle and lubricating your joints. But here, the chemistry is hijacked. Water is a fast-acting neurotoxin. It violently bypasses your blood-brain barrier, a strict bouncer built to keep microscopic invaders out of your gray matter. Tiny water molecules slip past the velvet rope, flooding neural pathways. It aggressively fries your dopamine receptors and short-circuits your prefrontal cortex. You lose total control. Think about your commute. Driving under the influence gets a terrifying new meaning. Cruising down the interstate to your family, red and blue lights flash in your rearview mirror. Your stomach drops. You pull over. The cop doesn't ask you to walk a straight line. Spotting a half-empty bottle of Aquafina in your cup holder, he rips you out of the driver's seat. Law enforcement uses biometric scanners instead of breathalyzers. The officer presses a cold metallic sensor against your wrist, checking your blood's sodium levels. High sodium means thick blood. You're stone cold sober and safe to drive. Low sodium means diluted blood. You're dangerously intoxicated, a biological threat headed straight to a maximum security lockup. Say goodbye to your job, truck, and freedom over a single sip. Let's be real. Society as we know it would flatline. The U.S. burns through 500 billion liters of fresh water daily for agriculture. In this universe, every Midwestern cornfield is a massive, unregulated cartel operation. A heavy summer rainstorm hits. Crops suck the intoxicating molecule deep into their root systems, permanently locking it inside the vegetable's cellular walls. Overnight, the national food supply transforms into a psychedelic minefield. You think you're eating a baked potato after yard work, but that potato is loaded with pure water. One bite triggers a wild, spiraling hallucination. Suddenly, chewing fresh romaine lettuce is basically a Class A felony. Grocery stores are now guarded by armed military contractors. The black market for dry, ultra-processed, heavily salted junk food explodes overnight. You roll the dice every time you feed your kids. But the grocery store collapse isn't what keeps you up at night. It's the grid. Another 500 billion liters of fresh water cool our electric power plants daily. Coal, nuclear, and natural gas facilities need oceans of water to keep their internal core temperatures from melting down. Picture this: a pressurized cooling pipe inside a high-security nuclear plant develops a microscopic fracture. High-pressure steam hisses out, flooding the main control room. Operators breathe the hot vapor. Water hits their lungs and enters their bloodstream instantly. Within seconds, the command crew is uncontrollably high, flying blind. A senior technician stumbles. His hands slip off the primary control console. Klaxons scream. Nobody is sober enough to read complex digital monitors or smash the manual scram switch. Reactors overheat. Automated fail-safes trip, and the plant goes dead. A cascading blackout ripples across the continent. Cities plunge into absolute darkness. Hospitals lose backup generators. You're sitting in the dark, armed, trying to protect your home from anarchy. All because of a few rogue drops of vaporized water. Let's step back from the apocalypse and look at the brutal clinical reality happening inside your skull. In the real world, dehydration is a slow killer. It wrecks your focus, ruins gym gains, and causes brain fog. When you sweat out fluids, your body panics and your brain tissue shrinks. But here, drinking water triggers the exact opposite response. It causes a rapid, fatal medical crisis called hyponatremia. Here's the punch in the gut. The urge to quench your thirst is biologically identical to the desperate panic of holding your breath underwater. You crave it. It's hardwired into your DNA. The primal urge screams at you to take one sip. You twist the cap and drink. The clear liquid hits your gut. It absorbs rapidly, severely diluting the critical sodium levels, keeping your body in check. Osmosis takes the wheel. The laws of physics demand equalization. Water desperately seeks salt to balance internal pressure, finding it deep inside your own cells. It violently forces its way through microscopic cellular channels, flooding the cytoplasm. Cells have a biological mandate to survive. Normally, they absorb water and function perfectly. In this dark reality, they swell. They expand aggressively, stretching delicate membranes to the breaking point. Then, they explode. Apply this violent cellular expansion to your body's command center. Your brain is locked tightly inside a rigid, unforgiving vault of bone. Your skull doesn't stretch. There's zero room for physical expansion. When toxic water forces your brain tissue to swell outward, it has nowhere to go. It presses brutally against the hard bone. Your skull crushes your own brain. You're trapped on a lethal survival clock, playing Russian roulette with your biology. A human can survive weeks without food as the body cannibalizes fat and muscle. But you only have 3 to 5 short days without fluids before your kidneys tap out, internal organs shut down, and your heart throws in the towel entirely. You face an impossible, agonizing choice. What if the element that built your muscles melts your mind? Do you play the odds with pure water? Do you succumb to the craving, take the high, lose your mind, and let your brain violently crush itself against your skull? Or do you go cold turkey? You abstain, you dehydrate. Your blood volume drops off a cliff, thickening into dark, toxic sludge. Your heart strains like an engine with no oil, aggressively pumping mud through your veins. Blood stops reaching your hands and feet. Your skin takes on a sickly, gray-bluish tinge. Your sweat glands dry up completely. Your body loses the ability to cool down. Your core temperature skyrockets. You're cooking yourself from the inside out. Game over. How does the human race survive this intoxicating nightmare? How do we beat extinction when our biology is trying to kill us? We look to NASA. For decades, aerospace engineers developed incredibly complex filtration tech for the International Space Station. Astronauts drink their recycled bodily waste. The environmental control system uses a high-tech vacuum distillation process. It boils human urine, extracts pure vapor, and heavily filters it, creating water purer than anything from an earth tap. But in our hypothetical world, purity is exactly what kills you. Here, pure water is a highly sought-after, lethal, black market drug. Governments scramble to secure the remaining drinkable liquid on Earth. They deploy billions of dollars of NASA technology, but run it in reverse. They don't purify the water. They deliberately, systematically depurify it. They take the deadly water vapor and pump it full of harsh chemical additives. They inject calculated doses of raw sodium and heavy electrolytes, making it intensely, aggressively salty. They ruin the clean taste just to save your life. They balance the chemistry so your brain cells don't detonate on contact. You drink the murky, heavy, salty brine. It burns your throat and tastes like garbage, but it keeps you sober. It keeps your brain intact. It keeps you breathing so you can clock in the next morning and protect your family for one more day. We can easily imagine water as a lethal drug because we take its absolute purity for granted. You walk into your kitchen, turn on a faucet, and safe, perfectly balanced lifeblood flows effortlessly into your glass. You don't question it. You just consume it blindly. But here's the cold, unforgiving reality of the world we're living in right now. Today, over 2.2 billion people cannot access managed drinking water safely. To them, our hypothetical nightmare isn't a fun thought experiment. It's a grueling, daily reality of contaminated survival. They don't fear water making them high. They fear water making them violently ill. They fear the invisible pathogens, the heavy metals, and toxic agricultural runoff. They fear the water delivering a slow, agonizing death to their kids. Your body is about 60% water. We dragged ourselves out of prehistoric oceans millions of years ago, but never truly left them behind. We carry the sea inside us. It cushions your knees when you lift heavy, and is the vital lubricant keeping your eyes from scratching when you blink. It is your literal lifeblood. You are a walking, breathing ocean. Don't poison the well. Take a moment right now. Step away from the screen. Give your overloaded brain a break, and just do nothing. In that simple pause, you might just save a life. If you want to keep exploring the fascinating, deadly edges of science, hit that subscribe button and drop a like on the video. Stay curious, drink enough water, and I'll see you in the next one.